Welcome to the Deep Dive. So today we've got this really interesting list of popular books you've put together.
Yeah, it covers a bit of everything: fiction, nonfiction, sci-fi, fantasy, thrillers, even personal growth.
Exactly. And our goal really is to sift through these, kind of pull out the highlights, and maybe help folks figure out what rewarding read they could pick up next.
That's the plan. Sort of a shortcut to finding that next great book, whether you're looking for, pure entertainment, maybe some self-improvement, or just a story that grabs you.
Okay, let's dive right in then. Fiction first. The Night Circus by Aaron Morgenstern keeps coming up. It's described as beautiful, magical, set in this mysterious circus.
Yeah. Appears only at night. Very
nice.
atmospheric. People talk about the enchanting prose, a bit of romance. It seems aimed at, well, dreamers, maybe.
So what makes it stand out? Is it just the vibe, or is there more?
Well, I think it's how it plays with illusion and reality, the circus itself. It's not just for show. There's this underlying competition, but it's all framed as art.
Right.
So if you want that deep imaginative escape, the sensory stuff, plus that hidden tension, yeah, it could be really satisfying.
Gotcha. Then there's The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This one sounds, well, glamorous. Old Hollywood actress spilling secrets.
Right. Love, legacy, the whole package. It promises a pretty emotional journey.
What's the real pull there, do you think? Beyond the, Hollywood sparkle.
I suspect it digs into how identity is constructed, especially public versus private personas, and the sacrifices involved in fame and love.
Right.
The emotional weight probably comes from that contrast, the shiny surface and the messy truth underneath. Could be quite poignant, actually, thinking about authenticity.
Makes sense. And the last one here in fiction, where the crawdads sing, Dealey Owens. This one mixes a murder mystery, romance, and nature writing, set in North Carolina marshlands.
Yeah, it's quite a blend.
What makes that combination work so well for people?
I think it's how the environment, the marsh, isn't just scenery. It actively shapes the story, the characters. It's almost a character itself. And the mystery probably weaves into themes like isolation, survival, resilience. So it hits different notes, appeals to readers who might like mysteries or nature writing or character studies, multi-layered.
Right. Okay, let's shift gears. Nonfiction, Atomic Habits by James Clear. Hugely popular self-help book, right? About tiny habits leading to big results.
Exactly. Everyone seems to be reading or talking about this one.
What's the core idea that makes it click for so many, do you think?
It's just so practical, very actionable. It gets away from vague, improve yourself advice and gives you a real framework.
A framework.
Yeah, for understanding how small, consistent actions build up. It's about setting up systems, not just aiming for goals. That distinction seems to really resonate. Systems over goals.
Interesting. Then we have something much broader. Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind by Yuval Noah Harari. That sounds epic, maybe even a bit daunting.
It is epic in scope, definitely. Covers, well, everything from early ancestors to now.
So for someone thinking, wow, that's a lot, what's the key thing they'd get out of it?
Despite the scale, it tells a really compelling story about how Homo sapiens came to dominate. It focuses a lot on the power of shared stories, myths, beliefs like money, or nations in shaping society.
Ah, so it's not just dates and facts.
Not at all. It's more about understanding the big underlying forces in human history. Thought-provoking stuff.
Okay. And Morgan Housel's The Psychology of Money. Timeless lessons on wealth, greed, happiness, simplifying how we think about money. What's maybe a surprising insight from that one?
Well, a key thing is that being good with money isn't just about what, like financial knowledge. It's much more about how you behave.
How so?
Our emotions, our biases, acting irrationally. That often has a way bigger impact on our financial success than knowing complex theories. It's about managing yourself.
Right, makes sense. Okay, sci-fi and fantasy fans. Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. He wrote The Martian, right?
Yep, same author. And this one gets similar praise: a brilliant space survival, adventure, lots of wit, science, suspense.
What's Weir's magic touch with this kind of sci-fi? Why does it work so well?
He's great at taking these huge, extraordinary situations like being stranded in space and grounding them in relatable human problem solving.
Okay.
Even with all the high-tech stuff and danger, it often comes down to the character being clever, using science practically. Makes it thrilling, but also kind of intellectually satisfying.
Yeah, I get that. And for fantasy, A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. Big series, lots of magic, danger, romance, rich world building is mentioned.
Definitely. This is huge in the fantasy romance or romantasy space.
What's the core appeal there for fans?
Well, it's that deep escapism, isn't it? Immersive worlds, high stakes, magic systems, but also strong character arcs, often with themes of power, finding yourself, and of course the romance is central. People get really invested.
Okay, thrillers and mysteries now.
Yeah.
The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. Gripping psychological thriller. An artist who stops speaking after presumably something bad happens. And a therapist trying to figure it out.
Exactly. The premise is instantly intriguing.
What makes that setup, the silence, so effective?
The silence itself just creates this huge mystery, right?
Yeah.
It invites you to guess, builds immense suspense, and the dynamic between the therapist trying to break through and the silent patient becomes this intense psychological game. You're constantly questioning motives.
Sounds intense. And then The Girl with Dragon Tattoo. Stieg Larsson. Dark, compelling mystery. Journalist, hacker, digging into a wealthy family's secrets. How does this kind of darker mystery differ?
These often tackle more uncomfortable social issues, really explore the darker side of human behavior. They can be less about just solving the puzzle and more about untangling complex relationships, power imbalances, moral gray areas, grittier maybe.
Right, grittier. Okay, last category. Personal growth and mindset. Mark Manson's The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Feck. That title definitely stands out.
Yeah, it does. It's framed as a refreshingly honest guide.
What's the actual message behind the provocative title? How does it cut through the usual self-help stuff?
It's essentially about choosing what's actually worth caring about. Like, life has problems, accept that, focus your energy, your fix on what truly matters to you, and learn to let go of the trivial stuff that bogs you down. It's about prioritizing your values.
So, managing your focus. Makes sense. And finally, Ikigai, the Japanese secret to a long and happy life, by Garcia and Morales. This introduces a Japanese philosophy.
That's right. Ikigai, it's about finding purpose, balance, joy in daily life.
What's a practical takeaway someone could get from that philosophy?
The core idea is finding the intersection of four things: what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. Finding that sweet spot, your Ikigai, is meant to bring a deep sense of meaning and direction.
That's a lovely concept. Wow, okay, so that's a fantastic run-through of possibilities. We've covered a lot of ground, different styles, different goals for reading.
Definitely something for pretty much everyone in that list, I'd say.
Hopefully this deep dive has, sparked some curiosity for our listeners, maybe pointed them towards a genre or even a specific book they want to check out.
Absolutely. And maybe a final thought to leave folks with. Think about which of these worlds we talked about, the magical circus, the sweep of history, the inside of someone's mind, the path to better habits, which one felt most intriguing to you right now?
Yeah.
What might exploring that particular area through one of these books tell you about what you're looking for or where you're at in life? That could be the real start of your next reading adventure.